So the reason this all got started, okay, let me give you some backup information. I don't know how many of you have had speech class already? Yes? Yes? Okay, well, I just started mine this semester with Dr. Nash. And our first speech was narrative speech, to do something outside of our comfort zone. So I'm like, what is outside of my comfort zone? So I'm thinking, and God convinced me to do something radical. I don't know, have any of you guys seen the people who hold up the sign that say free hugs? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Oh, and if any of you are in my speech class, or were at the fountain last week, you'll have to hear this speech over again. But what I did, I took my own spin on it, and I did a sign that said free prayer. All right? So what I did is I went to the Hamilton Mall last Friday, and I went around with this sign, free prayer. And I don't know about you, but on the way there, 1,000 thoughts were running through my head. And I'm like, how am I ever going to get the courage to stand up? I was like walking around the mall like with the sign tucked under my arm before I started. I was like, oh man, how am I going to do this? And so I sit down and I'm like, I can't stand up. But I remembered the words of Jesus in Mark 13:9 when he says, "But take heed to yourselves, for they shall deliver you to councils, and in the synagogues ye shall be beaten, and ye shall be brought before rulers and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them." And I'm thinking, okay, if I can't stand up in this small mall, in this small country town, in the middle of the Bible Belt, and in the middle of the country where we have free speech, no less, how am I ever going to stand up before rulers and kings as witnesses against them? So I knew I had to stand up. So I do. I grab my sign, and I start walking around. And not even 5 seconds after I stand up, I hear two boys kind of like snickering, laughing behind me, and I thought they were just making jokes. And I hear them read the back of my sign that says, "For any who need it." And so, to my surprise, they actually call out, "We need it!" And so, I turn around, I give them a smile, and I take their prayer request. And to my surprise, before I start praying, they say, "Is it okay if we're Muslim?" And I don't know about you, but that gave me so much joy because I knew that they were willing to pray even though we were of different faiths. So after that, I keep walking throughout the mall with a little extra pep in my step. And 15 minutes, I'm still walking through the mall. And then I hear a voice behind me. "Ma'am." I keep walking. "Ma'am." I just ignore it. "Ma'am!" Now I knew what was coming. So I turn around and I give my sweetest smile right into the eyes of the security officer. Right? So he says, "Ma'am, you can't go expressing your ideas out like that in private property. Sir, would you like to pray?" "Ma'am, I'm sorry, you're going to have to put your sign down right now. I'm going to walk you out." "That's fine, sir. I don't want to disrespect authority. I'll be out." So I do. I walk out. So I'm holding up my sign, trying to make eye contact with people. I'm saying, just take one moment out of your busy schedule to talk with your Father. And so I'm keeping walking on the side of the parking lot. I hear a security car pull up. "Ma'am, you're in danger of disobeying a peace officer. I'm not going to ask you again. Put down your sign." "Are you sure you don't want to pray, sir?" "I'm sorry, ma'am. You're going to have to leave private property right now." "Okay, sir, I'll leave." So I go. And even as I'm crossing the street at the intersection, I'm showing my sign to the cars. Stop. So I cross over the street, and I think I'm not on private property anymore because I'm on this sidewalk of stores. And I get to pray with one more couple before a security car pulls up one last time. 3 officers come out. "Ma'am, we have told you 3 times. You are still on private property. We have told you to put down your sign. I'm sorry, but we're going to have to write you up a 30-day ban from the mall for disorderly conduct." And just to prove to you that I'm not kidding, I have it right here. It's like my little badge of honor. It says, "If you return to any of the above listed properties or their parking lots before this expiration date, you will be arrested for trespassing." Lovely, right? And some of you guys might be horrified right now, but let me tell you, I was elated. I was so excited, partly because I was thinking, man, this is going to be such a good speech, which it was. I did it yesterday. It was awesome. But it was also because I finally felt like I knew what the joy, what James was talking about. In James 1, verses 2 and 4, it says, "My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing." And I knew that God was building up my perseverance so that in those last days I will be able to stand before rulers and kings. And some of you guys might be thinking, wow, I could never do something like that. But I'm here to tell you that through God, all things are possible. And I never thought I could do something like this either, but God gave me the strength. And when you take that leap of faith and say, you know what, God, I'm going to stand up for you. I don't care if people say I'm fanatical. I'm going to do it because I love you, and you have called me to stand before you. And don't be discouraged, guys. Remember the verse that in Joshua 1:9 that says, "Be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, nor be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee, whithersoever thou goest." I just want to remind you guys that God is always with you. Let me pray. Lord, I want to thank you so much for just allowing me to share this testimony once again with these girls. Lord, I know they are all your daughters of God, of you, Lord. I just pray that you will bless them and show them, give them that courage, Lord, that when they are called to stand up, they will be firm and have faith, Lord, that you will carry them through, and that when they decide, Lord, to step outside of their comfort zone, that you will bless them and shower them, Lord, with your abundance and mightiness. We just thank you, Lord, for hearing us and help us to get through the rest of this week, Lord, with endurance and faith in you. I pray this in your name. Amen. Amen.